Hi everybody. Uh, let's give some time for people to join, okay? And we shall start in some time. Hi everybody. Good morning. Let's give 2 minutes for people to join, okay? Hi all. Good morning. So let's start. So am I audible? Can anybody uh, confirm this through chat or anywhere?
Yeah, you're audible.
Oh, okay. And are you able? Are you all able to see my screen?
Yes.
Thanks. Thank you for confirming. So the agenda for today is we'll go through the Tableau. Demo will. I'll show you the intricacies of Tableau, and basically it will go move through these on these lines. Okay, like why, what is the need of Tableau, why we need it, and how we'll go through learning Tableau. Okay, so what I feel is essentially when you start learning something, right, you should understand these three things, and once you have these three things you can easily go to the next tab, that is who should learn, and what is the scope of it, right, and what is the opportunities that it comes with it. Then we'll understand, then we'll go through a case study or hands-on exercise, right? Case study as in we'll take one use case and then we'll solve using that. Okay, and at the end of the session or in between, if you have any questions, you can stop me then and there and ask. Okay, do not hesitate to ask questions, and I prefer a dialogue rather than a monologue. So let's be very interactive. I know it's 7 a.m. in the morning, but let's be focused and interactive. Okay, that's the one commitment that I would like to have from you all. Is that fine? Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
Okay, thank you so much. So when we say any understanding, like let us hear from you all, like what is Tableau, or have you anybody used Tableau who are I mean, I just want to understand the audience. So, like, let's start with what is Tableau. Anybody feel free to top it up.
Can you repeat the question?
Yeah, what I'm saying is basically what is Tableau? So, just to understand and gauge.
Yeah, Tableau is a kind of a tool, used mainly for data visualization and to be able to get insight about data to tell a story as well.
Right, right. So, I was looking for the last part. So, you were fairly covered the entire thing for what Tableau is made for, right? So, Tableau essentially, see, everybody, is like, we all know it is a dashboarding tool and so. But we are telling a story, we are conveying a story with respect to visualizations made on Tableau using the data from the company, within the company, or the secondary data or whatever data you have, right? So the story part is very important. That's a very, very, very good answer. Okay, just really was looking for that. Okay, so now I think when we understand Tableau, right, we should understand, like, uh, why it is needed. What is the what do you think, why it is needed for to uh, become a master or to be a good in Tableau? Why it is so important nowadays, or for that matter, any dashboarding or any visualization tool?
Now,
Mm-hmm.
it is very important. Tableau is very important, in mostly, in the present IT world, because generally, Tableau, Power BI, I've seen that top managements have no time to go through bulk data. But when you know your audience and you really want to get to them, I think Tableau is one of the data visualization that can easily catch stories and help to gain deeper insight for organization to make for decision making on their business.
All right. Correct. That's a very good answer here as well. Now let's say there is some data, right? I'll just how I understand or how I facilitate in the world is by giving examples, right? So you have this data, right? Let's say you have a data set. I just gave you and this data set and asked you, can you tell me which state has, let's say, more sales? Okay, how many consumers are coming from, let's say, California? What is our cohort? Or if I ask you to do a cohort analysis, you will be basically just by looking at this data and going through the Excel, what is the profit and etc. You will take time, and it is more consuming, like time consuming. Also, your brain takes more time to process, right? I mean, you will have to showcase in that way, correct? So, but the same thing if I do visualize or bring out insights using a dashboarding or visualization tool, then let's say if I am pulling it here, right? If I'm pulling it here, let's say, okay, I have the sample superstore data set. Same thing. The use case is, uh, you know, uh, let's say my categories. How are my categories doing, right? So we will go just take the category, right? I'm just giving a use case. I'll walk through everything. Just be with me. Now, if I want to see the sales, right, I'll just drop it out, and you have the sales here. But to do the same thing here, the processing is very less for my brain, right? And CXOs and CEOs, they have very limited time, and to convey a story to them, and so that they can take actions on your insights, we need really these kind of tool which saves our time, right, and are cut to clear. Okay, so that is the sole importance of Tableau and these things, right? So once we understand that, uh, once we understand that, let me take you through what we will learn through all the class, right? One second. So the very first thing, right? The very first day, I mean, we'll go through the understanding the end-to-end, what do you call it? Um, Journey for Tableau, like what tabs will do what is analytics tab, what is data tabs. We will understand whole interface, right? Then we will understand the data types, like data connection types, data connectors. What are data connectors? What is that Tableau desktop? What is Tableau online? And what is Tableau prep? What certifications we can do, and file types in Tableau, right? Then connecting data sets with data set. Okay, and we have this use case, groups, basic visualization, advanced maps, grouping, sort, LODs, and these things will be covered, right? I'll share this with you in a while. Okay, now let's go and jump on to directly to Tableau itself, correct? So when you open Tableau, right, it will start like this. Okay, it will start like this. Now, like in any other interface, we have similar interface here as well. Like if you go and open Excel, you will see similar sort of options here and here as well. This is because the most important design principle that softwares follow, right? Now, when you open it, you will see that two tabs are there. That is data tabs and analytics tab. So in the data tab, you will see that it says connect to data, or you can click on here, data source. You will get uh, different connectors, like through which you can connect to data. So let's say if your data is on Tableau server, okay, we'll understand what Tableau server is, or if to a file, right? Let's say you have Excel, CSV, JSON, PDF, special files, and other files also, right? Then you can use these various connectors, right? And you can connect to the dataset through Tableau. Now, let's say if you are a server, right? So to a database, basically, server means to a database. Tableau server is different, and to a server is different. Okay. So to a server, it can be Snowflake, it can be a SQL Server, it can be uh, Postgres, it can be MongoDB, it can be anything. Okay, right? Amazon Redshift. And the most important part of Tableau is why it is also very much preferred is because of two things. Okay, I'll basically three things. Okay, so when you open this more, right, you will see almost this is just 2073 connectors, but Tableau has more than 200 connectors. So in this whole digital world, right, you can connect anything with Tableau. So that is one of the most important feature, right? If something is not here, then you can connect through ODBC or JDBC. So that is a JDK, right, or SDK through which you can connect. Correct. So one of the highly important thing is that Tableau has right, why Tableau is used, right, large number of connectors through which we can connect to different data sources. Okay. The second thing is the processing power. Okay, it can process faster. Okay, I mean in Tableau we have something called as Tableau Hyper Engine, and through which it can process data a lot more faster, which is not present in most of the tools. Okay, I mean it's there, but like Power BI has a limitation on 1 GB or 2 GB, something like that. Okay, so and the third thing is the visualization. Aesthetics wise, okay, it can create awesome or aesthetic visualization. Okay, so primarily these are the things you can convey more stories and more story points here. We'll also look into that now. So far so good. Are you all with me?
Yes.
Okay, okay. So now we have this, right? So now we have this. So how a visualization tool works, right? How a visualization tool works. Uh, One second. how a visualization tool works, right? You have a data layer, correct? You have your visualization tool, and then you have consumers, right? So you have what? You have data layer, you have data layer, okay? Then you have Tableau layer, okay? I don't know why it is so small. One second, let me. Okay, let me open this. Okay, you have a data layer. Then you have Tableau layer. Okay, then you have consumers. Okay, okay. Now, how you will visualize, right? So once you have the data, right? You connect Tableau through data, right? And then you will showcase the same thing to the consumers. Consumers, as in, uh, we have, the managers or CXOs or other client, right? So it will be done. It will be showcased to them. So the first and the foremost part is we connect to a data set, right? And the data set can sit into anywhere. It can be a SQL server, it can be anything, right? So let's just go it and we'll understand. We'll understand. We'll understand through connecting SQL server. Okay. Now once we have, let's say we go to SQL server, to a server, right? And you have SQL server installed, then you will see that server name will be populating here. Just copy here. So this is I'm showing how to connect to SQL server, okay, or to any data source for that matter. Just paste the SQL server name and uh, okay, with the authentication, and then use, like, if you want to use a specific username and password, or Windows authentication. So I'll keep it as Windows authentication, because here in my SQL server also it will take this. So I need not put my credentials. I don't need to remember anything. Okay. So far so good. Are you all with me?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So what we are doing is we are just trying to connect Tableau with a data source. Now when we do sign in, now it will ask few more details, like I'm connected to the server. So now in this, right, in SQL, when I connect, I'll get this. Now consider this, that this interface and this interface is not different, right? You have the server name here, you have the server name here, right? Now you see the database. So actually it's what it is saying is, okay boss, you're connected to a server. Now which database you want to connect? So you will connect to whatever you want to. So let's say I do master. Okay. Now inside master, you have these many tables. Now if you go and you look here, inside master, you have system databases. Inside master, you have these many tables, right? Debut menu, dev members, person sales, right? So you can pull anyone. Like let's say you just drag this here. Let's say I'm working on sales data. That's it. Okay. I'm just working on sales data. So here it will show you, once you pull in something, you will get two things. I mean, three things that will be just observe here. Okay. So when you pull sales, the moment I chose sales master, it is showing as master. Now, when I choose sales, right, nothing is here as of now. When I drag and drop here, you will see that this has populated here, and this is populated here. Okay. Now, what are these? Okay, what are these? This is basically showing us a example of data, like what data it is, what data type we have, what are the columns, right, and how the data looks like. Right, this shows us that particular descriptions. You can say it is a data description basically. Now you see you have connections like live and extract. Remember when I showed you this thing, right? Tableau classes, live as extract, right? So this is a type of connector. Okay, connection type. Okay, live and extract. So live connection is what, and extract connection is what? Any idea? Any answers from your end? What is live connection and what is extract connection?
Oh, I don't know if I will be right, but let me just try. I think live connection is when you actually connected, let's say, to the SQL database where you don't have to when creating a dashboard, it doesn't go with the data, but you're still connected to the database. But extract, you kind of you are moving both the table and the data involved to the dashboard.
Awesome. I fully understood your answer. Good. That's a good answer. I mean, it shows that you have felt that way. I mean, you understood it and you have put it into your words. That's very nice. Anybody else? Anybody else want to try? Just try it. Let's just be more vocal so that we can understand more. So what happens is when you ask questions or when you are get involved, right, you will learn, the productivity increases more. So anyone just want to try? Okay, no problem. Any use case that you would think of? I'm sorry, I didn't take a note of like who gave the answer. I really apologize for that. But can you give us any example also? When in which use case we can use live connection and which use case will be suitable for extract?
To me, I think, okay, live connection, for example, when you are working, let's say you're working in a field where on daily basis there is a file in the pipeline, there's always kind of file injection where, there's kind of truncate and replace of different kind of, file on daily basis. The file connect, the live is better because, it keep updating, with whatever information is being passed to the database. But extract, let's say you just want to make a presentation to like stakeholders to have insight on what is going on in the business. I think extract is good in that scenario.
Right. So I mean, good answer. I mean, very nice, very nice. So see, live connection is basically we are connected to the data source directly, right? In a way that uh, whatever changes will be done in the data source, right? It will be reflected sooner
Uh,
in the dashboard. Okay.
just
So
to contribute more, what if we say live connection is a real time. It deals with a real time data.
Right. It's a real time data. So, but I'll tell you two things. In this connections, right, live and extract, live connection need not be a real time data. Just be with me, okay? Now let's say this sales is table is there, right? This is not a real time. Like uh, let's say the use case is the sales data is not updating every day. It sorry, not every updating every hour or every second, right? Or every minute. It is just sorry, it is just updated at the end of the day. So let's say you are today is 20th. So till 19th you will have data. Okay. But the mode through which you have connected is live. Okay. It means that Tableau is connected directly. One second. Let me open through a diagram and then show it to you. So you have Tableau here, right? Tableau here, right? Now you have one live and one is extract. Okay, one is live. Okay. Now let's understand extract first. Okay, what extract does? So what extract does is once you're connected to any data source, right? It will it will save in the Tableau hyper engine. Okay, it will be saved inside Tableau hyper engine. Okay, Tableau hyper engine and then through into the Tableau. That's it. I mean, Tableau hyper engine and Tableau is not a different thing, but I just gave you this picture so that you can understand it. So whatever, let's say 2 GB of data is there, you are extracting in the memory and keeping it here, right? Now live is that you are not keeping inside it in the Tableau. It is there in the database itself, which can be which can be real time or historical. Let's say that. Okay. Let's say that. Sorry. One second. This way you will get confused. Which is like real time. Okay. So real time in what sense? Real time is when you are connected Tableau through to let's say here we are connected to SQL Server, right? Through live connection. So and when we go here, right? Let's go to sheet one. Okay, let's go to this. Now, if I make a customer ID and or let's say order date, I want to make a line graph. Okay, I want to make a line graph. I am just doing this. Okay, remove this, remove this, remove this. Okay, and sales. Okay, I'm just doing it. Now, if I go here and if I want to make a line graph, I have this line graph. Okay. Now, this line graph is there, and this is I'm connected through a Tableau server through live connection, right? But when we go to extract, right, or what it will be there is the data set is so small that I okay, let's not. So what's happening is basically the data source is so small in Tableau SQL Server that it's taking less time. So ideally, what should happen is so when you are here connected to Tableau through live and extract you're clear, right? You are saving into a memory in Tableau memory, right? And then processing the data. So it will take less time here. But here in live connection, you are connected to a data source Every time you make some changes here in Tableau side, it will hit the server and then again it will come back. So it will create a latency. Okay, for in going back and forth, you're going back and forth, right? Let's say you calculated some calculated field. Let's say you are doing sum of sales, then it will go fetch the data and then it will come again, right? So that way it is a bit, it will be a bit slower here. Okay, and but extract will be faster, right? Now I'll give you an example what live is and what extract is. So let's say you have you are you have you're not earning, right? And you want to do shopping, you want to go for shopping, you want to purchase something, right? So what do you do? And consider yourself as Tableau, your Tableau, and you want to purchase something, meaning you want to perform some action on Tableau, inside Tableau, right? And you don't have money, is like a live connection. So how it will be? So when you don't have money, right, what do? You ask your parents or your guardians, right? Whoever is earning, when they, you will go to them, you will ask them, then they will decide whether to give it or whether to not give it, right? If you're, let's say if you have asked 100 rupees, they might not give you $100 or 100 rupees, whatever the currency is, right? So once you go there, you take approval, then you get the money, then you will go to shopping market, then you will shop. That is how live connection work. Okay, but think about extract as like you are working, right? Correct, you're working. And I'm not saying that you will not ask your parents. You that is a different cultural game altogether, a traditional game. That is not. I'm not saying that. But if you have money, you need not have to go and ask money from your parents and buy something. So the processing happens faster because you have excluded 3-4 steps. Going to asking somebody, then they will give money, then they will ask questions, and then you will go to shopping. So that way, extract and live is differentiated. That's how we will differentiate. Now, answering this question, can you give me a use case where live is uh, favorable or will should be used and extract should not be used? So let me give you this and tell me that whether we need live connection in that uh, uh, or extract connection, right? So let me just open. Okay, now let's say stock analysis for intraday. Can you tell me what should be the connection type? Think about this. Think about this. What should be the connection type? Come on, guys. Let's just answer this. So, if you're able to see my screen, stock analysis for intraday trading. What connection type should I uh, use here?
Live.
Live.
Live connection.
Okay, Abraham says live, and I heard two voices. Can you confirm?
Anthony. Live.
Okay. So you also say that it is live,
Yeah.
correct?
Yeah.
Okay. Anybody else? I want to just understand, like, are you getting, are you understanding things? Okay, no problem. So, live. Can you give any example or why you say you would want live?
I think it is the connection between the user and the server directly. So this is the information keeps changing. So the data cannot be stored somewhere. No, there won't be any memory. So this is direct link. So that is why I said live.
Good, 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 good. So, everybody understood it, guys? Are you able to understand what Anthony says?
Yep, makes sense.
Okay. So see, what he is essentially saying is, let's say I'm doing some intraday trading, right? And so you understand, like every 10 minutes, or I mean not every 10 minutes, I'm sorry for that. Every minute, every second, every millisecond, the graph, the tick, the candlestick, if you are aware of, candlestick changes, right? So we want to, let's say, we want to analyze, and the time frame for intraday is very small. Either we do it for, like, we want to get involved, every second data is changing. So we want to perform some trade on the basis of data that we are receiving, right? So if you want to receive or perform some trade, the data connection type should be live, right? Because it should be real time. Whatever the, let's say, NYSE, whatever NYSE is moving, however it is moving, you should be able to see it, so that you can take a call and buy or sell, right? So if the use case is this, then live connection makes sense. Okay. Now, when we say this, the second example, historical performance of NYSE, right? uh, what connection type it should be?
Can you repeat the question?
So the next use case is, if I want to analyze historically how NYSE has performed in last 10 years, right? This is our use case, and want to understand it. So what will be the applicable connection time? I mean, you can use any connection type, but what should be used?
Extract.
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 And why do you all say this, that extract will be useful?
First, to me, you have a range of information you needed to analyze, like as you said, 10 years, 10 years ago. So that is not, I don't classify that to be real time, and that is not live. And you're trying to go back into kind of an archive to pull out data to make your analysis. So you're extracting information.
Right. So when we use extract type, right? So see, this the use case is, we don't want any real time analysis, nothing in short interval. We want to analyze historically, so which has already happened, and we want to see the trend and these things, right? Like, let's say, whatever we created, right? This thing, this line graph. So historically, this has happened. This is how my order flows, right? So in that way, we'll use extract. So what happens is, you know that historically extract will save all the data, right? And the live connection will not store data. It will have more performance. So what do you think? Where the performance will be high? In which connection type?
So extract will be a better performance.
And what is the basis of the argument?
So extract is the data would be saved in the memory so that it is easy to pull. It won't have lengthier connection to get the data.
Correct. So here directly and technically, you're not hitting the database again and again, right?
Correct.
You are just using your memory. Like let's say you don't know something, you will go to Google, but you know something, you don't need to go to Google. So the processing happens faster,
Correct.
right? So performance is good here and comparatively lower than Stack. Okay. I hope we are clear in this. Now, once we are clear, okay. Now, extract also has 3-4 things. Like extract has its own intricacies. There is refresh, incremental refresh, and then full refresh. We will understand both all those things. But let's see. Let's go inside and see. What all things we can do. So now, so we saw this, like how we can make a trend analysis. Like this is some kind of a trend, like across the day, like day of the month, how our order has flown. So the first 2 days you have 6 orders, then this, then again it increases and then decreases. So this is, we can say that trend is there, right? Now we connected the data source through SQL Server, right? Now let's look how we will connect to a CSV, right? A CSV basically. So let me open a new, okay, because we will understand like how to connect to SQL Server, servers, Tableau server, and Excel file and these things. Now when I go to connect to data, I have saved data sources here, which is sample super data store, which is in a CSV format, XLS format. Okay. Or for Excel, I can go to Microsoft Excel, right? Now sample superstore, if I just copy it and then selected that data source, now we have that I am connected to that XLS, okay, Excel file. Okay. Now let's pull orders here. Let's go with live itself. Okay. The use case is not something else, but let's go just with live data set. And so this is data source. Now to perform to build any visualization, you go to worksheet. Okay. Okay. Now in the worksheet, right, we have this. Let's say we want to analyze, like we pulled in, right, category and sales. Okay. So this is the category of the products that you fall in: furniture, office supply, technology, and this is the corresponding sales. This is the basic visualization. Same thing we can do in uh, in same thing you can do in a bar graph. Okay, same thing you can do in a bar graph, and you can give uh, the data value data labels, like this in the sales value, and this is the category, and this is the sales value, right? So this way you can build bar graph. Okay. Now before that,
A quick question.
yeah.
Oh, I saw you on the top where you have that kind of letter T. What is the function of that? I think I don't know. I saw you when you click on that, it kind of shrink the paragraph. No, up the no, not there, not on show me. I mean, like where you have some sales on the tab up, you have the letter T. You have that T symbol.
Okay. I got it. This symbol, right?
Yes.
Right. So see, when you are here, right? When you're here, and
Mm-hmm.
this is basically a show mark labels shortcut
Okay.
to show mark labels. You can very well
Okay.
do it by not clicking this also, you can take sales again and you can put it in labels. You will get the same thing.
All right.
So what I have done here is I have pulled categories in rows. So you will get rows and sales into columns. So you will get this bar graph, right? But you will not have this labels. So to bring out labels, you can click this, okay, or you can put it into labels. Okay. Now before that, let me tell you this. This is the data tab. Okay. Once you go inside the sheet, right, you will see two things: data tab and analytics tab. Now in data tabs, you will see all the things, all the fields, all the calculations, right, that Tableau has for in that data source, right? So my orders data source has these things as fields. These things as fields. Okay. So far, so good. Are you with me?
Yes, yeah.
Okay. Now in analytics tab, when you go, you can analyze or you can bring out some stats like medium, average, distribution band, box plot, right? These things you can do cluster analysis here, right? So these things will be there and more analytical part over here, right? Now when we go to data, you have now you have these things, right? So we have pulled out category and sales, and then we have this bar graph. Now this is called as mark shelf. This is one of the highly important uh, shelf wherein you can actually edit your visualization or make your visualization more beautify it or aesthetically make it more viable or feasible to the consumers. Now let's say you want to change the color also, right? You can change the color. You can change the color, right? So these things you can do. You can change the size also. You see now everything is overlapped. So I've just reduced it. Reduce it. You can change the size of the bar graphs also, right? Labels also already we have seen. Details we these things we'll see. Okay. Now let's say if you want to hover over here, you are seeing tooltip as so category and sales, right? Correct. Right. So if you see tooltip, you have category and sales. Now if you want to add anything into the category, into tooltip, you can add that also. Anything you can add. Okay. But generally what it does is it takes category and sum of sales as a everywhere. In tooltip, you will see only those two fields. So if you hover over, you will see category and the sales, right? We'll go all of this. Just let's understand what it is. So we have one worksheet wherein sales category wise sales. Okay. This is category wise sales. Now, so what my use case is, how I am going through it is, my use case is I want to analyze sample superstore data, right? Let's take this example. Global superstore has been going through loss, perform a high level analysis. Okay. Now this is sales, correct? Now by category. Now we can do sales by city, right? So you have city, you have sales, right? Or just put it into here. And now it is like, everything is jumbled up. Now if I want to see it in sales, city wise sales. Okay. Now if I want to see in a ordered way, whether it is ascending or descending, I can very well go into city, sort, right? and descending. So what is we are doing? City you are sorting out. But here we should sort out sales, right? Or let's go, I'll tell you this itself. I plan not to do this, but okay, sort by field. Okay, now we have field, what sales and sum of ascending or descending. Okay, now we have the highest sales at top. So I'm sorting on the basis of sales. So whichever city has high sales will be at top, and whichever is has low sales will be at the bottom. Okay, so we are sorted in this manner. Okay, so now I can click on this and then see the value, right? Correct, city wise sales. Now let's go and click and okay, city by sales and let's go to region and let's take profit, let's say, or let's take in profit. I can go and very well and go and do this. This is a pie chart, right? So see, there are two ways to make visualization in here. You will get very limited option in show me. So once you pulled everything, you will go and click whatever. See, when you click here, over here, right? Let's say when you clicked over here, let's say I pulled it here, right? You will see that it will highlight few of the data, few of the visualization, which is more suitable for it. So you can go and directly click on them and it will be reflected, or you can directly make pie chart from scratch also. Okay, you can make pie chart from scratch also, right? Now to make the pie chart in scratch, what you should do, you can do is what we take we take region and sales, right? So let's take to region. Okay, right? So you have 4 different regions, then 4 different color. Now you have sales on labels, right? And you have here, you can go and make it pie chart. Now you have sales in labels. Okay, you got my point. So this way you can make uh, pie chart also. We can do so many things here, like I can create a field which will give us in percentage value. Okay, so this way we can make visualizations. Now, so we once we have this region wise sales. So far so with me, I mean you're able to follow, right?
Yeah.
Okay, 1 second. Okay, so this way we can do pie chart, right? And let me hide this. Let me now let's once you have the data sheets, right, you can create dashboards. Let's say I'm creating a new dashboard. Right now, I just pull in here. We have category wise sales, we have city wise sales, then you have region wise sales. Okay, let's make one more sheet. So you see, first thing is sheet, second thing is dashboard, and the third thing is the story, right? So I'm taking this here, and I also want to show map. Okay, so I'll just create it. I'll just pull this thing city is in the worksheet in the drop field. Okay, it's taking some time. It will take some time, and it will bring out what best it can. Let's do this. What all things are required to make a map, right? You need to have a latitude and a longitude, correct? And you have the state, right? Yeah, state. That is not right. Let's put a state here. Now it's the data set seems very weird. Okay, 1 second. Is the same data set. Okay, it's the same data set. Now once we have location, we have the state and city and province, right? Once we pull state here and wait for some time, it will give us a map. Okay, so this is all United States, right? Right, so basically this was showing us a city, all the states. Now if you want to see how my sales is varying in the across the states, right, then you can put a label also here, right, or you can put sales on colors, right? You can
Sorry,
put,
can you come again on how you make the state and province? Was that placed on a detail?
sorry,
Can you just go back a little?
yeah.
Like, okay, how you were able to make this state and province, show on the dashboard?
Okay, so this is so the data source that we were working on, right? This one, sales, not this one, this one, orders. This is not the actual data source. Okay, this is not the actual data source. See, if I am pulling states, right, it's not showing me anything. So latitude and this thing is I'll have to edit that. So I took the actual full data length source, full data source, like it is not tailored or something to a use case. This is the base data source, right, wherein you have state, city, postal code, region, etc. And when I pull states, let's say not here, just pull states over here. Okay, correct. You will get latitude and longitude. So what is important in maps? You have two things: latitude and longitude, right? And you are showing here that state in details. So you are getting when you hover over, you are getting only state and province. Okay, right. But now I want to understand how my sales are looking across the states. Right. So now I need to pull sales here, and which tab will show me? Either I can do through color. Let me just do it through color. Okay, and when I do it through color, I'll get a legend here, and it says more darker the shades of blue is, the higher the sale is. So we can very well say that New California is the highest. It is more appealing and less troublesome for my brain to process. Okay, correct. So this is just one way. You can even very well put it into size. Okay, size of this circle, you see, the bigger the size, the higher is the sales. Okay, so you can put it anywhere. If you put it into label according to the use case, you will get everything as similar, just the value will be different. But here, what is the problem here? Can anybody tell me? What is the problem here? Let me duplicate this once, and you will understand what I'm trying to say. What is the problem here? 1 second, in the dashboard, if I bring to not this one, okay. Can you tell me which one you will prefer and why?
I prefer that with the sales value.
Bottom one.
Bottom one, right?
Yeah, it tells the story. The visualization is better and tells the story, right?
The visualization is better and it is less processing to your brain. It because you understand that the darker the shade, the higher the sales, and we can just hover over and we can get the state name also. No, or if you don't want to hover and get the name state name, you already have state name, but it is not visible very much, right? So what you can do is in details, you can very well say go to state, where is state, and go to label. You have state visible now, correct? Now go to dashboard. You see now you have everything over here, right? Here California is the highest. Now here you will have to go through all the data points. Which one is higher? Okay, this one is higher. This is also higher. Okay, this is less. This is also higher. So you understand what I'm trying to say, convey. So that piece of information we'll have to process in our own. Okay, so that way these are important. Okay, now in the data base we had this. Okay, in the dashboard, this one dashboard, right? You have this dashboard, correct? Now in the story, if you take in the story, so we have made stories also. Now in the data set, right, you can pull the dashboard in the story and you can say sales across city and category, and you can put data stats over here, like we are seeing this many percentage increase in region this, in category we see that the x percentage was increased in the city. New York is the highest. You can put stats over here so that once the consumer is there, he will get to understand, okay, because he wants the end understanding, right? And insights that he wants to take away. He wants a takeaway basically, correct? So you can put the main or important things in stories. You can create multiple stories. You can create multiple stories, and you can add a caption and you can present it, right? Are we clear? Yes or no, please. Any confusion that you have? Hello. Okay, I'll take that as no. But if you have any questions, please let me know. I am open to questions, okay, as of now. But now let's go to this, okay. Now, in the state in you, if you have seen that, right, you have worksheet, you have one second. Okay. You have worksheet, workbook, and one second, worksheet, dashboard, story, right? These are the three elements, correct? Correct. Now there is a higher level of category as well, that is workbook. Workbook, okay. Now workbook is basically, if consider it as a there is workbook, there is then this as like worksheet, there's for a dashboard, then this will be worksheet, right? And stories are entirely different things. So now this is workbook. Okay, this is dash, and this is worksheet. So a workbook will have multiple dashboards, and a dashboard will have multiple worksheets. Okay, so that is the nomenclature that we get to see. Okay, so far so good. Now we are at the end of the session itself. So what we'll do is, now in the dashboard, right, we'll have to publish somewhere. We can publish into data source, publish into a server, right? So we can go here and publish into a server, whatever server we have. Okay, correct. So 1 second, Tableau public. Okay. Okay, now we are publishing into server. So I'll just, like the way we connected to a server through the data source, right? Copying the URL. Similarly, I have taken the URL, connecting the URL with my Tableau server, Tableau public server. We'll understand what Tableau public is and all this thing in detail, right? Since we will be connecting every day, we'll be going through all that. We'll perform more complex things like parameters, calculate fields, how to make dynamic parameter, LODs, and these stuffs. Okay, so why I'm not getting any of it? Oh, no problem. So once you publish it here, right? We'll publish it. Maybe I'll see that and I'll share this. I'll have to sign in and I have to get the password. That's it. So once you publish it, right? Once you publish it, it will be available to everybody, right? And they can see the dashboard. Okay, they can see the dashboard. Correct. Now, any questions so far?
No,
No, we
it's
are.
been a nice session.
Sorry, I'm having some network issue. I feel you broke some. I think Anthony was speaking or Abraham was speaking.
No, we both were
Yeah.
speaking. So Abraham told it's a nice session. So I told I'm okay with it. I'm good.
Okay. Sure. So I'll share the in the group, right? I'll share this agenda. I mean the whole thing, right? What we are doing, and actually this is for the last batch that I'm taking, right? We were doing this. I'll share this, and I'll share few other things as well in the group. Okay, and the recording also will be available. So since this is 1 hour session, we'll be very we'll go in a nicer way. I mean, not considering that everybody has any background, we'll go from scratch. But since for the demo, I just showed everything. But when we start from tomorrow, it will be very segregated way. We'll tackle one by one everything. Okay.
Sure.
I hope
Yeah.
you like.
How do we get
Thank you.
How do we get Tableau installed? Are you going to cover that in the next session?
You know, to get to answer this question, I'll tell you tomorrow. Tableau, don't download anything as of now, because it will be valid only for 15 days, and you will have to change what do you say, email IDs, so that you can get new one again and again. I'll tell you what to do. You can go to Tableau public and do minimum stuff. Okay. So for task for today will be go to Tableau public and understand this. Sign in, explore it. Okay. Okay.
Sure. Tableau
Okay,
public, is
sounds
it?
yeah.
Okay.
Yes, yes, yes. Okay.
Yeah.
I hope you like the session. You will even more like the classes. So yeah. So I mean, accommodating everything in 1 hour is very difficult, but I wanted to tell you so many things, but I had to cut through the timings of things, because since everybody is working, so we have to be very to the point. Okay, then.
Sure. So the classes starts from tomorrow or from Monday?
No, from tomorrow.
From tomorrow. Okay, cool.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Any
Thank you
questions
so much.
in the group, will address it. Okay.
Sure.
Thank you. And you can share your feedback in the group also, or personal window as well,
Sure.
to Tanveer. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thanks everybody. And
Yeah,
just
thank
one
you.
request: please be vocal. Let's understand together. Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Bye
Thank
bye.
you.
Have a
Bye-bye.
good day. Yeah.